play. And it got the ball down to the 27-yard line, but still a long way to go for a first down. 2nd and 18 for the Dragons. Our game clock is down to 3:20 to go here in the first quarter. Still no score. Jefferson has had the ball a while, trying to make something happen. I formation, Caldwell the tailback. Purrier drops the throw, wants to go. Now he's going to run the ball right side. Carl Purrier will come up and a flag is going to be down, and that is going to go against Keith Newman of Jefferson. It looked like he really cracked the plant defender on that one coming back.
Yes, he did. He tried to come back and help the quarterback, and in reality, he hit one as a tight end. We call him a tight end, but basically he lines up out wide in the wide receiver slot.
3rd and a short one. Purrier is going to keep the ball. Flags on the play, and that is illegal procedure against Jefferson, and that is going to cost the Dragons a first down. And Jerry, that's going to make it 3rd and 5.5, a little bit tougher to get.
And it does change the play calling now, because now at 3rd and 1, you've noticed that they were in that situation 3 different times where they just run the football. Now 3rd and 6, it does not allow them to try a run up the middle or run a quarterback sneak or a play of that nature. They're going to have to either run a draw or something that makes it look like a pass is coming, or do some play action. But they're going to have to probably change up their strategy right now and try to get this first down.
3rd down, 6 yards to go. The ball at the 16-yard line of Plant. Game clock is at the 2-minute mark here in the first quarter. We're still scoreless. Jefferson has had the ball now for about 8 minutes and has not been able to get anything going. Plant had it early and couldn't do anything either. Let's see what happens to the Dragons on the big 3rd down. The pass is going to be complete out there, wide open. In the side is Caldwell, the tailback. He fights his way very close to the goal line. It'll be 1st and goal for the Dragons. Great call and a great play from quarterback Carl Purrier.
That's right. Purrier looked upfield, and then he saw his back coming out of the backfield. They call him a safety valve, but Donald Caldwell was out there, made the catch, and then also made an outstanding run, not just to get the first down, but get the ball inside the 5 to about the 3-yard line.
That'll bring up 1st and goal now for the Dragons. The ball at Plant's 2-yard line. Purrier now 2 out of 3 for 39 yards on this drive. Dragons with a chance to score. Once again, Caldwell and Swain in the backfield. Swain is the fullback, Caldwell the tailback in the I. Swain will get the ball straight through the middle. Touchdown, Jefferson. Jermaine Swain goes in, and Jerry makes that one look pretty easy.
That's true. It kind of looked like the old Pittsburgh Steelers trap inside the 5-yard line, basically having to just a hand off to Swain and watch him run up the middle. He got into the end zone untouched.
Swain, 51 carries, 245 yards this season, and Jerry, those may be the easiest 2 he's had all year.
And might be the easiest 2 he'll get tonight also. But it's just the capping of an outstanding drive by Jefferson.
Sparks on to try the point. Kick is up, and he kicked it 1.5 miles through the uprights to make it 7-0 with 1:12 remaining here in the first quarter. And Jerry, you're right, an outstanding drive by the Dragons, and maybe the most important thing for Jefferson is a couple of penalties that could have killed it. They came back from them, just put it behind them and made it work, and that's what you like to see.
That's true. They did overcome a couple of things that could have stopped them on that drive. As you can see, the score there: Jefferson Dragons 7, Panthers 0. They were basically mechanical in their drive in the standpoint that they ran the football well, but they ran it on running downs. They threw the ball when they had to, were able to complete it and make some of the big plays, and then end up capping off this drive with that touchdown. But I think even more impressive was the length of time that they took off the clock. I mean, it's 1:12 left in the first quarter, and they had the ball for at least anywhere from 7 to 8 minutes.
Yeah, it seemed like about a 7.5-minute drive. They certainly did a nice job. They mixed everything up. They made big plays. Newman touched the ball 1 time, but boy, what a play.
And that was the biggest play of the drive, and of course he's the big play man, and that's what you look for them to do.
There's a good look at Jason Sparks. He will kick it off again for the Dragons. Deep to receive it, standing back near the goal line for Plant will be Jasmine Trammell. He wears 1. That's Kevin Kane. He's on the right side, and Terry Hall is over on the near side. 3 deep receivers, as you can see there. And Sparks may kick this one right through the goal post. Almost. Ball will come out to the 20-yard line where Plant will have it, and Jerry, Mr. Sparks has himself a good leg.
Yes, he does. In fact, you'll see him do a lot of things here tonight. You saw him kick the extra point up over the net and probably over the refreshment stand, but that kickoff there getting into the back of the end zone. He's also a linebacker, and he plays some running back on offense. He's a very versatile player, and Jason Sparks is one of the leaders of this Jefferson Dragon team.
So the second offensive possession of the game for the Panthers. Trey Korn will bring his club out. He will have Kevin Kane as the lone setback behind him. Jasmine Trammell will now come in motion, will get the ball, tries to sweep the left side. Trammell cuts it up. He is hit head on by a couple of Dragons. Big time hit there by David Hill, the 5'11", 205-pound senior. And there's Mr. Hill, and Jerry, he made a nice play.
That is true. David Hill came up and just met Trammell head on an open field tackle, and David Hill was the winner of that battle.
Second down and 7 yards to go now, and this is one of the better hits you'll see. It looked like he had a little hole, Jerry, but it closed.
He just came in there and just put his shoulder pad in, made the tackle. That was a good pattern form tackle, and that's the type of tackle that you like to see. That's if you like getting tackled.
Good look there at Trey Korn. It looks like there's a little bit of confusion for Plant here as they try to get the play off. Ball will be handed to the inside man this time in the wing tee, and he bounces outside. That's Trammell. Trammell's got a shot down the right side. He's got some speed. Finally run out of bounds by Eric Felder all the way near midfield, and what a great run by Trammell.
And that's an understatement to saying he's got some speed. If he had another 3 yards of sideline, he would have outrun everybody and gone up the sideline. That was a good play, but it was a misdirection play that Plant had. You hadn't seen it yet today, and it was something that caught Jefferson by surprise, but it was a real good run there by Jasmine Trammell.
Official spot of the ball will be the 47-yard line of Plant. First down and 10 yards to go. We have 18.5 seconds remaining here in the first quarter. Jefferson with the 7-0 lead. Now Trey Korn once again going out to talk to his players. Here's the Delaware wing tee. Ball handed off to the fullback. First man through is Kevin Kane. He fights his way into Jefferson territory down to the 47-yard line. Tackle on the play by big number 24, Paul Backman. He's not big, 5'10", 180-pound junior, but he made another nice hit.
And Kevin Kane a little excited at the end of that run. You'll see here it's a hard run. He's spinning, breaking tackles, and it takes about 3 Jefferson Dragons to get him down, and they do. But Mr. Kane gets up, and he just kind of shows his excitement there, or disappointment that he didn't run the whole way.
Well, we have come to the end of the first quarter here at Dad Stadium. It's 7-0 in favor of the Jefferson Dragons, and with the ball at the 47-yard line, don't have to go too far to change ends of the field here. And Jerry, a good first quarter for the Dragons. Great drive for a touchdown, and Plant now appears to be on the move. It's kind of been the game we thought it would be. Both teams with certainly great potential to score touchdowns.
That's true, and they say that the best defense is your offense if they can control the clock. It keeps the other team's offense off the field, and Jefferson did just that in the first quarter. They were able to do what they wanted to do offensively and come out and run the football and throw the ball and really control the pattern of this game up until this point. And then it looked as though after they scored the touchdown, they were able to kick back off to Plant. Well, Plant's starting to generate their own drive now. As you can see, Coach Acosta on the screen trying to get his troops rolling.
Good look there at Roland as he starts to walk back up the sidelines. His club down by 7, but moving the football here as the second quarter about to begin. Jasmine Trammell unofficially 48 yards and 3 carries, leading the way for Plant. Donald Caldwell 40 yards and 5 carries for Jefferson, and Carl Puryear 2 out of 3 for 39 yards in the air. Second down and 4 yards to go now. Trey Korn calling the signals. This will be the inside handoff to Trammell, and the Dragons had seen that one before. He will not get the first down. He will be stopped in Jefferson territory at the 48-yard line. There's Keith Newman making the stop, and I tell you what, he's a little bit of everything, isn't he?
Yeah, and he will be a little bit of everywhere. They try to keep him on the field most of the time, not bringing him out for a rescue because he can play defense. He's a decent defensive player. Of course, his forte, they think, is on the offensive side of the ball, but when you've got a good athlete like that, you kind of keep him on the field at all times.
Well, the rumor is that they may make him a defensive player once he gets to college. You're talking about maybe an outside linebacker, strong safety, because he hits so well. Boy, with all that offensive talent, you got to wonder a little bit.
That's true. They kind of like to take your prototype tight ends. I think he's more of a tight end, and they kind of like to keep him at tight ends when they get him to college, so we'll see.
Korn wants to throw, eludes one, going to roll to the side, makes the throw. Good throw. Nice catch out there by Gilbert. And that will be a first down for Plant at the Jefferson 42-yard line. Trey Korn showing some versatility there, Jerry. Looked like he had a problem. Got out of it, made a nice play.
Not only that, he threw that football with a lot of pressure on him. He took a hit at the end of that throw and was able to kind of get it off to get the completion. You'll see Korn here drop back, catch a little pressure right off the beginning there from Romaine Davis, and then take a hit from Sparks at the end, but able to get the pass off to Gilbert and get the catch as well as the first down.
First and 10 for the Panthers at Jefferson's 41-yard line. Just underway in the second quarter. Ball handed to the full tailback McDaniel, and he'll power it down to the 35-yard line. McDaniel, a 5'10", 170-pound junior, getting some opportunities here tonight and making the most of them.
And McDaniel are taking the inside handoff, running upfield, getting about 5 to 6 yards. And you can see the Plant offense now starting to get on track and doing some of the things that they know that they can do. Run the football inside the tackles as well as throw the ball. And you can see that they're probably getting a little more confidence in running the game and running this offense.
2nd down and 5 yards to go. McDaniel just snuffed as he got the ball. Great play by the Dragons to just put him down and making the stop there for Jefferson. Big number 62, Jonathan Griffin with the stop. And Jerry can't tackle much better than that.
And I'll tell you, you say big at 6'5", 285 pounds. You're not going to break too many tackles out of somebody that size. And again, able to make the stop and really stop for a loss. They lose a yard on the play and making it 3rd and 6.
And the Panthers will call a timeout here with a 3rd down and 6 coming up. A big 3rd down play for Plant. Jefferson leads it 7-0 on a 2-yard touchdown run by Jasmine Swain in the 1st quarter. You see the score there. Jason Sparks added the point after. Jefferson, as we mentioned, 4 victories and 2 losses. And Jerry, they're coming off a very, very one-sided defeat at Auburndale last week in the district, 26-0 to the Bloodhounds. And for them to come back and play the way they have played so far, it's a real tribute to Darley Nelson and his staff. They've gotten them ready.
Yeah, Coach Nelson knows that his team was better than the way they played last week, and he was disappointed in the way they played, but he also knew that he couldn't really get on them for it. He had to kind of show some confidence in them and show them that, you know, that's not you, that's not the team that we've been working on, and that's not how we can play. And he's done a good job this week of convincing them that to get that out of their mind and to come out and now you're playing Plant. Let's forget about that loss and let's show everybody the team that we are. They've come out tonight and they've shown just that.
3rd down and 6 yards to go for Plant. Double wideouts right side, single wideout to the left side for the Panthers. Korn rolls to it right, wants to throw. He's got all kinds of trouble. Gets the ball away. It's complete to McDaniel. Sticks his head down and is knocked out of bounds at the 32-yard line. Tackle on the play by Troy Hart, the 5'9", 160-pound corner. And Jerry, I think they're going to have to bring the sticks. And what a play by Trey Korn.
And what a great effort. Number 9, Kevin Newman from Jefferson was all over Trey Korn. How he got that ball off, it was hard to tell. But we'll see here, Korn just, in fact, being pulled down as he got the ball off there. The number 10, Reginald McDaniel, able to get close to the 1st down, close enough to attempt to make on 4th down.
And it looks like it will be a 4th down. They did not get the first, but now they're going to come and bring the sticks across the field to measure. So let's hold off before we say that. They had put up 4th down on the far side of the field, but they just want to be sure. That turned out, Jerry, I would say, you know, I guess the gain was maybe just a few yards, but it really was more like 10 or 12 because Korn would have been sacked back there.
That's true, but not only that, it has allowed them to consider going for the 4th down here because now it being 4th and probably inches.
Yeah, you can see right there, it's less than a yard as referee Joel Schornborn puts it down. Yeah, maybe just about a yard. Very close, though, and big decision time for Plant.
It is, but it's close enough to go for. And it also, with the way the Plant offense has been running, you'd have to think that they'd go after this 1st down, and that is what it appears to be what they're trying to do here.
McDaniel will line up directly behind the quarterback, Korn. He's got Kane off in the slot on the left side. 4th down and a yard to go for Plant. Big 4th down for the Panthers. Game clock down to 9:37 remaining here in the 1st half. Let's see what Trey Korn has up his sleeve on this one. He's just going to keep the ball, try to power forward. He gets a push from one of his players. I'm not sure they can do that, but they certainly did get the 1st down. So Trey Korn, with some help from his friends, gets the 1st down for Plant down to the 28-yard line.
Well, it's not how you get it done. It's the results that count at the end. And, of course, he's either going to get some help from his friends, whether they're blocking, clearing the hole, or they're pushing him through. But that time, Korn able to get that 1st down with the quarterback sneak and continue this drive.
Once again, McDaniel and Kane will be in the backfield. Kane will split off in the slot to the left. He's only had the ball 1 time tonight for 7 yards. A little unusual as Korn drops, pump fakes. Going to go deep. He's got a man open. Overthrown out there. Intended for Demetric Gilbert. Jerry, that had 6 written all over it.
And that was a very, very good call there. They dropped back, and it was just a a fake out and Gilbert able to turn it up and run up the field. You're going to see that at the end of the play, Gilbert angled towards the goalpost, and if he would have stayed running up the straight of the field, that probably would have been a perfect pass and a touchdown.
Yeah, I think maybe he caught Korn by surprise a little bit as he made that last little dip there, and when he did, it cost him a chance to make the catch. Well, second down and 10 yards to go now for Plant. Korn will give the ball off to Kevin Kane. Kane dragged down right about the line of scrimmage, and Jerry, it seems to me like he's having trouble getting going from that position. Kevin Newman with a stop for Jefferson.
Kane appears to be an excitable type guy. He gets up after not a gain and really disappointed either in himself or somebody else. But when they try to run the reverse direction type of plays towards the middle of the field, they have not been successful doing it. You notice that their running plays have been very successful when they run off tackle. And that's something that, of course, you have to continue to try to run the football inside. But their success is on the outside, and you have to look to see them try to get around the corner more often.
Third down and 11 as Korn drops to throw. Across the middle is the pass. It's complete out there to Jasmine Trammell, and Trammell down to the 17-yard line. That ought to be enough for a first down. Terrific pass that time by Korn. And Jerry, these Panthers have opened it up some since we last saw them.
Yeah, that's the passing game that we talked about earlier. Korn drops back in the pocket. He just kind of sits there. He looks at the receiver. Now, that was a good catch there by Jasmine Trammell. But again, the Panthers able to throw the football and having some success out of it, and it takes the Jefferson Dragons by surprise, but by now they know that this team can throw the football, so they better tighten up on the defensive backfield.
And it looks like time is going to be called here, official timeout, with 8:25 remaining in the first half. A little equipment problem for a Panther on the far side of the field. It's 7-0 in favor of Jefferson, but the Panthers on the move here. They have the ball down at the 16-yard line, and Jerry, if I recall, they started this thing back at the 20 following the kick through the end zone by Jason Sparks. So an excellent drive so far for Trey Korn and his club.
Not only that, again, we talked about the time that Jefferson used it. Well, they've had this ball for a good amount of time now, and that's good because it's given their defense a rest, because their defense was on the field for a long amount of time.
Korn will hand the ball off to McDaniel. McDaniel will cross the 15 down to about the 13-yard line. A host of Dragons in on the play. Jamel Jefferson, one of the players, in on the play for Jefferson. So that will bring up second down. Ball will be spotted at the 13-yard line. Second down, 6 yards to go. 7:40 remaining, first half. 7-0 Jefferson. And trying to get even up right here. Fullback in the backfield this time for blocking purposes. That may have helped a little bit. Moving forward for much yardage there will be Eskridge. Eskridge will get it down near the goal line. And Jerry Bell, all of a sudden we saw Mr. Richard Williams take his 300 pounds and clear a few guys out of there.
It must have been their version of the refrigerator, because at 6'2", 300 pounds, lining up at the fullback spot, able to be the lead blocker. You'll see him right about the middle of the screen, lead up through the hole and block. And of course, they just ran right by him. John Eskridge able to take the handoff and run upfield. Get inside the 5 and back to the 1-yard line.
Yeah, just outside the 1, it looks like from here. First and goal to go for the Panthers. Williams is staying back there. Let's see if Kevin Kane, who is the other setback, gets it. He does, right behind Williams. Let's see, no signal. There it is, touchdown Plant. The wait a second, the referee on the far side official made the call. And the Plant Panthers on the board. And, you know, Jerry, right now, the only team I know in the NFL does that is Minnesota Vikings of Randall McDaniel. They stick him in the backfield and go right behind him, and that's exactly what the Panthers did.
Well, anything that works like those last 2 plays that you have to continue to try to do. Again, Rashard Williams at 300 pounds, if you can't run behind him, you're not going to be able to run behind many people, and that time they did it successfully twice.
Chun will try the point after out of Korn's hold. He'll get it down. Kick is up, and the kick is good. And with 6:54 remaining here in the first half, we have a 7-7 tie following that 80-yard drive for 6 points by the Panthers. And Jerry, again, very impressive. Both teams moving the football.
That is true, and it's ball control type offense that you're seeing. You're running the football well, but you have to be impressed with the way the Plant Panthers are throwing the ball. I mean, with Trey Korn dropping back in the pocket, as you see the score 7-7 there, he's throwing the ball very calmly. He's been put in rush situations and been pressured, but still able to get the ball off and make completions, and then making big plays. And that's what you have to do to continue drives. You always have to come up with a big play or some good plays within a drive, and that's what these Plant Panthers did this last drive, and able to continue on and go on and score the touchdown.
David Bocus will kick it off here for the Plant High Panthers. And deep to receive the kick will be Donald Caldwell, the elusive little freshman for Jefferson. He'll stand back at his 10, number 10 there in the center of your screen. Jefferson has only had the ball once, drove the length of the field and scored a touchdown. Let's see what the Dragons can do on their second possession of the game. And Bocus addresses the ball and lets it go. They're going to give Caldwell a chance to return it right about the 10-yard line. Caldwell looks for a hole, right side, tries to cut back out, does. Nice hole for Caldwell. And he has finally run out of bounds near the 40-yard line. And Donald Caldwell, Jerry, showing he can do just a little bit of everything.
That's true, taking that kickoff there and just really running to the return. The return was set up for the right side. He had to make one man miss. He did just that. And again, the defense catching up to him there. You'll see Caldwell wait on the ball here. He's waiting and he's waiting. He catches it, he'll watch his block and take his time. You see him in kind of neutral, and then he'll just pick a hole, make the guy miss there, or really knock him down, run upfield. And again, you don't get a good shot on Caldwell. He's kind of elusive, and he's going to make a move right before you hit him, and in that time able to just kind of get knocked out of bounds there.
Dragons will start from their own 39-yard line. Swain will be the first guy with a football, and he is going nowhere, stacked up by the center of the Plant line. Graham Anderson the first play, but it may have had some help with the mask there, Jerry.
It appeared that way. A lot of hands up around the face of Swain and to helping him make the tackle. And we'll see again here, Puryear handing off to Swain. Nowhere really to go. He's going to spin off, and again, you can see his head being tugged to the right there. It's going to appear to be face mask, and that's exactly what it is against the Plant Panthers.
And it looked like Graham Anderson may be the guy to get the call, but I tell you, I'm really impressed with Anderson. 6'1", 195 as sophomore. He looks like another one of these good young players here in Hillsborough County. We have called his name a few times already tonight. So the ball will go to the 42-yard line of Plant. That will certainly help Jefferson. Keep in mind that the Dragons hurt themselves on their touchdown drive with a couple of penalties, but bounced back. And now Panthers doing them a favor with that face mask penalty, we believe, against Graham Anderson. Line of scrimmage is the 47-yard line, and once again it will be Swain and Caldwell in the backfield. This time Swain is in the slot on the right. Puryear will give the ball off to Caldwell. He's got no place to go. He's going to be dragged down for a loss. And Jerry, that was a play that never really developed. Jason Rappaport right there to make the stop for the Panthers.
That's how you make the tackle, though. You grab on to Caldwell and you just don't let him go. That time you'll see the handoff there. A lot of pressure upfield and forcing Caldwell to run to the middle. That's where all your people are. And again, number 6 on the play, John Eskridge, putting the pressure and making Caldwell cut the ball to the middle of the field, thus being tackled by Jason Rappaport.
Loss of 2 on a play, 2nd and 12 now for the Dragons. Caldwell with 38 yards and 6 carries unofficially. Game clock down to 5.5 minutes to go. First half as Puryear, the short drop. Pass across the middle will be complete out there. Nice catch by Dion Ware. It will be down close to a first down, but not quite, to the 39-yard line of Plant.
And Ware had to go down and get that ball. Now, he's about 6'4", 185 pounds. Dion Ware had to reach down, pick the ball up on the slant route, but it also put his team in a good position on 3rd and 3 to be able to try to convert this for a first down.
Big third down play coming up for the Dragons. Ball at the 39. A long 2, short 3, depending on how you look at it. And 2 down territory, it would certainly seem, Jerry, for Jefferson. And looks like the Dragons can't quite get organized on this play, so they call a timeout with 4:48 remaining here in the first half.
It appears as though they're taking a little bit too much time in trying to get the play off. You go in the huddle if you're unsure, and the clock is running down on you. The clock that, of course, it would lead to a delay of the game. It's best to call a timeout, pull on out, kind of get your facilities together, get your whole team on the same page, and get everyone relaxed. Go back, see the coach, make sure you know what he wants to do on these next couple plays, come back in and just kind of continue the drive.
Yeah, Dragons called a timeout right before that big 26-yard pass play to Keith Newman to set up that first down. It certainly turned out to be advantageous, as you see Carl Puryear there talking to his head coach Darley Nelson. And of course Darley used to coach right here at Plant for Roland Acosta, was one of his assistants. before going over to Jefferson, where he has certainly established himself as one of the best coaches here in the county. He's had some great teams down through the years, and Jerry, with the way this district is shaping up, this is still anybody's district and anybody's game. But boy, I know the winner of this game tonight is going to be in pretty good shape.
And it appears as though this year that teams are more competitive with each other versus having one or two very dominant teams. Anybody can win on any given night, but when you have the teams of the level of talents that we have now, at least this year, again, anyone can win. And we've seen that, and we're going to see that the rest of this year.
Third down, long 3, short 2, depending on how you want to look at it. Puryear will bring him out. He will split this time. Caldwell into the slot on the right side. That gives him 3 wideouts, far side of the field. Swain behind him. The pass will be out there. It will be picked up and caught. First down and then some for the Dragons. And this could go all the way for a Jefferson touchdown. It will. Making the play was Dion Ware, and all of a sudden the Dragons on the board again.
And it looked like Ware was going to drop the ball, initially catching it, bobbling, as you can see him celebrating there at the end of the play. Able to get control of it and just make an outstanding run out. He showed a lot of speed on that play, too.
Yeah, this was almost the best non-play we've seen all year. I mean, he barely catches the ball here. Whoop, whoop, and there he goes.
And then he just took off. He hit the sideline here and really outran number 4 to the corner and just got to the end zone and 7 points.
Boy, he's got some speed, too. He sure showed it turning the corner. The touchdown by Dion Ware. Sparks will bang it well through the uprights to make it 14-7 with 4:36 remaining here in the first half. And once again, as Darley Nelson congratulates his club, the Jefferson Dragons have gone back out on top. 2 touchdowns to 1 if this was soccer, but it's not.
And you talk about timeouts. Remember, they called the timeout
that's right.
before,
there it is again.
And they came up with the big play. That's what happens when you have time to think about things and to really go in and determine what you want to do or what you think you see. And again, Coach Nelson and Jesuit Dragons utilizing their timeouts.
And, of course, the Plant Panthers will now get it back. And on their last drive, the Panthers marched it 80 yards downfield against Jefferson, knocked it in. 4:36 remaining here in the first half. Still plenty of time for Plant to get down there and maybe try to get this thing even before the break. 2 touchdowns for the Jefferson Dragons on the great pass play that time from Carl Puryear to Dion Ware. Although sometimes, Jerry, you look at a play like that and you say, it's a pass play in the books, but it was more like a run as much as anything.
In fact, it was if you have to give the yardage on the pass, he threw the ball. Ware caught the ball 2 yards behind where he threw the ball from. So he should get -2 yards on the pass and maybe 50 yards on the run.
Well, Jason Sparks will kick it off, and he'll drill this one again. Trammell will be in the end zone. It will not be allowed to be brought back out. So once again, the Panthers will get it on the 20-yard line. And Plant will go on offense again with 4:36 remaining in the first half. And Jason Sparks, probably the best leg we've seen in the county this year. He is not shy about kicking him into the end zone.
Well, when you have a linebacker that plays also fullback and he's also your kicker, you would expect him at least to have a strong leg. And Jason Sparks has shown us that tonight, kicking the ball into the end zone on the kickoffs and really out of the stadium on extra points. I think he's making a point to try to hit it as hard as he can, and he's done a good job of that tonight.
Well, we haven't seen him punt, but he's a leading punter in Hillsborough County at 39.6. This is Trey Korn handing the ball off. This is McDaniel. McDaniel still on his feet. Great run out to the 25-yard line. That's about 5 of the toughest yards you'll see.
And that's what you like out of your running back is that effort. Not just the effort when he's in the open field, but when they've got someone hanging on him or someone grabbing around his legs. Keep those legs moving, trying to get the extra yards on that play. Reginald McDaniel did just that.
And there's a good look at McDaniel, and 1 hit right there. 2, 3 guys.
That's true. And after the initial hit, was able to get another 4 yards.
Double wideouts left side for the Panthers this time on 2nd and 5. Trey Korn drops the throw, looks, going to go down the left side. The ball's going to be intercepted out there by the Dragons. Troy Hart with the interception. He is dropped immediately by Demetrius Gilbert at the 30. But, Jerry, that is a big, big turnover in favor of Jefferson.
Yes, when you drop back and you look one way all the time as they do, as Korn does to get the ball to Gilbert, they kind of start putting double coverage on you. Jefferson had double coverage on Gilbert that time. You're going to see Korn drop back to throw the ball. He's looking the same way, looking Gilbert's way, and they just double covered. And on that play, number 31, Troy Hart, able to come up with the interception.
So the Jefferson Dragons, a golden opportunity here to try to increase their lead. 1st and 10 from Plant's 30-yard line. Caldwell will be the lone setback behind a quarterback, Carl Puryear. Double wideouts right side, but Caldwell's going to get it. And now he's going to try to reverse his field. Now he's going to go right again, and he probably made one too many cuts that time. He is dropped back to the 35-yard line as a flag goes down.
Caldwell looked like he wanted to try to come to reverse field, make a big play. He kind of turned around. He saw a couple of black shirts coming at him. You see him there trying to run wide, nowhere to go, coming back and said, don't think so. And he just gets to the corner, trying to get as many yards as he can, and of course losing yards on the play. But then again, a flag was thrown on the play, and the initial indication that it's going to be a clip against the Jefferson Dragons.
A clip against the Dragons it will be. The line of scrimmage. Well, it looks like they're going to talk it over with Plant here now and see. It was a big loss on the play. This probably came right at the end of the play, I would think. And Eric's going to march it off from the 35, which is where the play ended. So this is a big, big loss for the Dragons.
And we talked about the strength of Jason Sparks' legs, but I don't think he can kick a field goal from the 50-yard line. And that's how that penalty there hurts, in the fact that they were in field goal range. Again, Jason Sparks able to kick the ball a long distance. Well, they took 15 yards off at the end of the play, which was already a 5-yard loss, and that's a 20-yard swing there. And again, putting the ball on the 50-yard line when the play originally started on the 30.
Yeah, actually the Dragons wound up losing 20 yards on the play, a 5-yard loss on the run, and then the 15-yard penalty tacked on the end of it. It will bring up first and a bundle. 1st and 30 now for Jefferson. Puryear's going to roll, drop, wants to put it up. You know he wants to go to Newman if he can, but he's got Ware down there. Ware will make the catch for Jefferson inside the 5-yard line. Tremendous pass by Carl Puryear, and a great catch out there by Dion Ware.
And Puryear was on his back when he threw the ball. He had all the time in the world. He set up in the pocket to throw the ball, and Ware able to catch the ball with a lot of distraction. You'll see Puryear in the pocket. He's taking his time, stepping up, and he just tosses it. He gets hit at the end, and Ware's running up the field, able to run under the football and catch it and fall down, which basically is trying to secure the catch and make sure he has it. And he did just that to give them a first down inside the 5.
Got behind Jasmine Trammell and Demetria Gilbert on that play to haul it in. It was underthrown just slightly. Had it not been underthrown, Jerry, it would have been a touchdown because he had him beat.
But if you're going to underthrow the football and catch it inside the 5, I think I'll take that underthrown
Nobody's going to argue with you, that's for sure. 2 minutes, 33 seconds remaining, first half. The Jefferson Dragons called a timeout, and that seems to be the magical play for Jefferson. Call a timeout and make a big play. They don't need a big one this time. They just need a couple of yards, but it would certainly be a big touchdown for the Dragons at this stage of the game if they can get it in the end zone.
When you think of it, we've had a close football game up until this point, and the fact that a turnover had led, as you can see, the score 14-7 with 2 minutes and 33 seconds left. Up until that turnover, the interception that we just saw, this football game was a 14-7, 7-7 type game. Very well played and hard-fought game, and to have a turnover lead to a big play which can score and kind of give you a 14-point lead, and especially going into halftime, is really a momentum swing for the Jefferson Dragons, and really is not as good indicators how this game has been going.
Puryear now approaching the 100-yard mark in passing yardage tonight, right around the 90 mark, following that long completion to Dion Ware, who's caught a couple of them and really been the big spark on offense tonight for the Dragons. Well, it's first down and goal to go now for Jefferson. The ball is at Plant's 2-yard line. Caldwell is the lone setback. Swain is in the slot on the left side. Caldwell gets the pitch, the reverse to Newman. They're going to give Keith Newman a chance to score. He just sticks his head down, and let's see if he gets in there. No sign yet. Jefferson thought it might have been a touchdown. Still no call. Now, when it's this long, it's probably not going to go. Looks like they're going to say he is stopped just shy of the goal line.
Very interesting play call. When they've been able to run the football all day, you'll see a double reverse to Newman getting the ball in his hands. He saw a little opening, and he decided to use his size and strength to try to run over a couple people, but as 3 to 4 Plant Panthers stopped him, granted, I don't know how big you are, you're not going to be able to run through 4 players, and that was the case there, unable to get into the end zone.
So that will bring up second down and goal to go now for the Dragons. The ball at the 1 or maybe even inside the 1. Let's see if Puryear just keeps it. Nope, hands the ball to Swain. Swain will go in for the touchdown. Jermaine Swain from the 1-yard line, his second touchdown of the game. And with 1:39 remaining until halftime, it's 20-7 in favor of Jefferson.
Very similar to the run he had earlier on the other side of the field to score a touchdown right up the middle of the field. He had a bigger hole that last time than he did this one. But again, the results are the same. That's a touchdown.
Sparks on to try to make his third consecutive extra point of the night. And they're trying to sort things out down there. Not sure what that's all about. Good look there at Jason Sparks. He will play somewhere next year. A lot of schools looking at him as they are looking at Keith Newman. Sparks will drill this one right through. Jerry, I'll tell you what, I think he's got a future as a kicker too.
If he wants to take the time to develop his kicking, I mean, right now he has the strength of any kicker. Again, the score 21 to Jefferson Dragons and then 7 for the Plant Panthers. But Jason Sparks does have a strong leg, and he appears to be fairly accurate with that, not missing any of the 3 extra points today, as well as kicking the ball off in the end zone.
Good look there at Darley Nelson, the head coach at Jefferson High School, congratulating one of his players. Jefferson bouncing back big time from that loss to Auburndale last week. And Plant, Jerry, I would think right now needs to maybe try to get something if they can. They've got 1:39 here left in the first half. That is time enough to get something going with the way Trey Korn has shown he can throw the ball.
That's true. It's time enough for this Plant Panther team. The Plant teams of the past that couldn't throw the ball, you'd have to think that they try to run the clock off. But this team with the passing of Trey Korn can come back and try to get some points out of the drive with 1.5 left.
Let's see if Sparks kicks it into the end zone again. He has done that his last 2 kickoffs for Jefferson. And there it is. This is a low liner. Ball will be picked up by Trammell at about the 5-yard line. Trammell going to try to cut it outside. If he can get around one, he's got a shot. This time he's got all kinds of yellow pants coming over there, but he gets it out to the 36. A nice run. So with 1:28 remaining here in the first half, the Panthers will have it at their own 36. Jasmine Trammell with a nice 28-yard kickoff return.
And that's what you need. You need a good return after the kickoff there, especially with 1.5 left. If you want to get something going on the drive, it doesn't do you any good to start on your own 20 or the 15-yard line. That time, Jasmine Trammell able to get the ball out to the 36.
McDaniel is the tailback and Kane the fullback in the eye. Quick drop by Korn, going to throw the pass, incomplete. Intended out there for Trammell, who had made his cut, and Korn threw behind him. 1:11 remaining in the first half. We'll come back with more right after this.
Excuse me. Do you wear your safety belt?
Why, no. I don't wear my safety belt.
Thank you.
You could learn a lot from a dummy. Buckle your safety belt.
Second down, 10 yards to go for the Plant Panthers. Korn will throw the little swing pass to Trammell. Didn't surprise too many people. Troy Hart with the stop for Jefferson.
That's true. You're not going to get a lot of yards on a 5-yard hitch pass, or really a hitch pass behind the line of scrimmage. But what you are going to do is you're going to get some good effort from your teammates. Number 71, Mickey Clark, able to try to come out and try to peel number 31 for Jefferson, Troy Hart, off his receiver. Unable to do that at the end of the play, and thus resulting in a loss.
Dragons will call the timeout with 58.7 seconds remaining here in the first half. Plant will be faced with a third down, and Jerry, I think I know Jefferson's strategy. They may want to try to get this football one more time before the half ends.
And not a bad strategy. 58 seconds left to go with the passing game clicking like it is for Jefferson. I'd see them trying to get the ball back. Of course, calling this timeout and coming out with the play, this next play, and trying to stop Plant. If they stop them from the first down and force them to either punt the ball or go for it, and granted, this far backed up, they wouldn't go for it, but get them to punt the football and really have about 40, 50 yards to go. They have a good field goal kicker. Jason Sparks can kick a long field goal, so they really wouldn't need a lot of yards, and they don't have a lot of time either. But look for them to get the ball or try to get the ball and make something happen offensively.
Trammell lost about 3 yards on that last play, so the Panthers will be faced with a 3rd and 13. Double wideouts near side, right side. Single wide out to the far side, left side, as Korn drops the throws. Got some pressure, rolls out, throws across the middle. Ball is tipped incomplete and almost intercepted out there by Kevin Newman. He was just a little bit away from the pass. Good try, though, by Newman. 4th down now for Plant.
And if Newman would have come up with that interception, he had nothing but sideline. He would have scored a touchdown on that play. Very fortunate for Plant that he was unable to hold on to the football. Korn chased out of the pocket there. You'll see him trying to make something happen. And the ball, I tell you, the ball did hit Newman in both of his hands, and just very unfortunate and able to pull that down, and very fortunate for the Plant Panthers.
Aaron Sorrow back to punt now for Plant. His second punt in the game. He'll stand back at his own 20. Good snap, no pressure. He'll get it away. Not a very good kick this time. And it takes a very good bounce, though, for Plant. And it will go out of bounds at about the 33-yard line. So a flag goes down. Ball will be at the 33 until they march off something here. Let's see what the call's going to be.
It looked like one of the Jefferson Dragons got excited. He had a great block, but he stood over the guy after he knocked him down and celebrated. And that, of course, is unsportsmanlike conduct in high school football, and I'd look to see that being the call.
Looked like Jason Sparks, the kicker, might have been the guy. He is, of course, a linebacker as well. And it was number 8 for the Dragons, we were told, David Hill, who was penalized on the play. So at this point, Jerry, the Dragons' long way to go. I guess if you're Puryear, put the thing up.
That's true. You remember, he's thrown a 2-yard play that has resulted in a long touchdown. He's got some quality receivers and big play men on his squad. And really, although he's got a lot of yards, 43 seconds, things can happen, and he's got the players that can do that. So they're still going to try to make something out of this drive, but it does hurt them that they do have to march back 15 yards.
And they're going to wind up back at the 18-yard line. So first down and 10 yards to go from the 18 with 43.1 seconds to go. Certainly the Dragons got the ball about the time they had hoped to. Problem is they're a little further back than they thought they would be. So let's see what Puryear has here to offer on this first down play. Puryear drops, little delay handoff this time to Caldwell. Nice run by Caldwell. He'll get it out to the 28-yard line. Very close to no, not close to a first down, my mistake. Forgot about the penalty.
Now you're looking at the original line of scrimmage.
That's right. Clock is running here now. Let's see if Jefferson is going to be content to let it go.
You'll see really a delayed draw. He goes back 10 yards. Puryear goes back 10 yards before he places the handoff, and then again taking a good shot there at the end of that run was number 10 Donald Caldwell.
And it looks like the Dragons will be content to let it just run out from here. They have had enough as they are getting ready to head to the locker room. And it's been a good first half for the Jefferson Dragons. They get 3 touchdowns. The long pass play from the quarterback Carl Puryear to Dion Ware of about 50 yards, and a couple of short runs by Jermaine Swain, 1- and 2-yard runs. Kevin Kane, a 1-yard touchdown run for Plant. We have come to the end of the first half, and there's our score. The Jefferson Dragons with a 2-touchdown lead over the Plant Panthers. Jerry and I will come back with second half action right after this. Well, it's almost Halloween. Jerry Bell, full moon. Think the wolf is coming or what?
I don't know what's coming, but I tell you that full moon is not a good sign so far at this point for the Plant Panthers. Of course, they're not having a great night. They haven't looked that bad, but again, they're down by a score 21-7, and they're kicking off, giving the ball to the Jefferson Dragons.
And a big series for Plant here as we get set to start the second half. The Panthers really need to hold the fort against the Dragons. Try to keep Jefferson from extending that 21-7 lead. David Bocas will kick it off. Ball laying flat on the tee, which means he's not going to get a lot of elevation. He gets none. Ball is kicked around a little bit by Jefferson, but finally picked up. And a big hole for the Dragons. Romaine Davis right side, and he is dragged down into Plant territory at the 45-yard line. Jerry Bell would look like a pretty good play, almost backfired on the Panthers.
Well, and that play could have been covered better if the Plant Panthers had spread out from a standpoint of a kickoff team. They were all on the one side of the half of the field, and when you kick a ball like a squib kick on the ground and it goes to the opposite side, well, you don't have people over there. That time, again, Romaine Davis picking the ball up, making something happen.
Great field position for the Dragons. 1st and 10 from Plant's 45-yard line. Jefferson's best field position of the game. Once again, Carl Puryear, in your screen there, will be the quarterback. He's got a split backfield. On 1st and 10. This will be Caldwell, the tailback. He cuts it back up inside, still on his feet, and now switches it back left side. It's got some room. He'll finally run out of bounds at about the 33-yard line. He looks to pick up the first down for Jefferson.
And this time reversing the field, of course. Donald Caldwell taking the handoff and running to the opposite side of where the play originally developed, but able to get upfield and get a good gain out of it. You'll see Puryear here hand the ball off Caldwell. He's starting to his right, decides that, well, I'll cut this back, and really looked as though he was going to make a big play, but then Plant kind of catches up, and Caldwell decides, well, I don't want to take a hit. Let me just step out of bounds, and he ended the play like that.
And it looks like an official timeout. The ball is being spotted at the 34-yard line. It was enough for a Jefferson first down. Good run by Mr. Donald Caldwell out of the box there. And keep in mind, he is only a freshman for the Dragons, so he will be around for a while. He's in the backfield with Jermaine Swain, split backs. This time Swain has the football, and he will get it very close to the 30-yard line. Mr. Vasquez, Alex Vasquez, the 5'8", 200-pound senior, will make the stop for Plant.
And a good stop he did make. He came up and stopped Jermaine Swain. We talked about Swain running the football to the inside. He's a tough, hard runner, and Vasquez coming up and making that stop. Good defensive play there.
Gain of 3. It'll be 2nd down and 7 yards to go for the Dragons. Just underway here in the third quarter. It's 21-7 Jefferson, and the Dragons with the football. Deion Ware splits out wide right, and Mr. Newman, Keith Newman, will split out wide left to the near side. Caldwell, the tailback. Puryear on a delayed handoff to Caldwell, and he is tripped up as he gets to the 30-yard line. Outstanding tackle by John Eskridge.
That's true. Eskridge had a blocker, somebody blocking with him. He was able to kind of shed him at the last minute and shut off and make the stop there on Caldwell. That was a delayed draw, and you talk about delay, you'll see Caldwell taking the ball, trying to find a hole, and Eskridge there just to make the stop.
3rd down, 7 yards to go now for the Dragons. The ball is at the 32-yard line of Plant. Good job by the Panthers so far on this series to stop Jefferson, but a big play coming up, 3rd and 8. Once again, the backfield split for quarterback Carl Puryear. He'll drop straight back to throw, steps up, going to go for 6, into the end zone. He overthrows Keith Newman. Newman had looked like he'd gotten behind Dimitri Gilbert just a little bit, but Jerry had no chance to make the catch.
That's true. Ball was overthrown, and everyone knew that he was going to Newman. He dropped back, he looked his way, and he threw the ball up the field. The Plant Panthers were around the football. Possibly if the ball was better thrown, they may have been able to make a play on it. But thus, he overthrew the ball, and again, making it 4th down.
And we are going to get a chance to see Jason Sparks try a long one here for the Jefferson Dragons, rather. Sparks will try one from 50 yards away. Carl Puryear will hold. And now Jefferson's going to call a timeout because it doesn't look like they have nearly enough players on the field. Is this 6-man football?
They are missing 2, if not 3 players.
It looks like it. Let's see, 1, 2. They're starting to make some changes here now. 2 have come on, so we know there was 9.
Well, that's a good way of not making a field goal, because without that many men on the field, there's going to be a couple people running untouched through to make the block.
Boy, you would have sure thought so. Good timeout called by the Dragons. 9:54 remaining here in the third quarter. Be anxious to see Jason Sparks try a field goal of this distance. He has hit the ball very well so far on kickoffs. Be good to see whether he can actually drill one through from 50. I don't remember the last time I've seen a 50-yard field goal in high school.
But with the strength of his leg, they can either go for it or attempt it, but the Plant defense has to honor the fact that he could possibly make this kick. So when you look at a 50-yard field goal in high school, you basically think that they're going to fake the ball, but Jason Sparks has the leg strength, and I'd look to see him try to put this one through the uprights.
Well, keep in mind that Puryear is the holder, so that does give the Dragons another option if they want it. Ball will be spotted right at the 40-yard line. They're going to try it. A line drive kick, but it will go. Let's see. No good. Wide to the left. But boy, he had plenty of distance, didn't he?
That one probably could have been a 60. Easily a 60-yard field goal. You talk about leg strength. That was just I tell you, that's a strong leg that young man has, Jason Sparks. And to become a little more accurate, he could probably just relax on offense and defense and make a living as a kicker.
Well, unlike the NFL, the ball will go out to the 20-yard line following the missed field goal, and I think these guys have been watching the NFL too much. They were all standing around near where the ball was going to be spotted had they spotted it at the point of the miss. But it will go back to the 20, and the Plant Panthers, Jerry, do their job. They prevent Jefferson from scoring here to open the third quarter. Now let's see what the Panthers can do. to try to get back in the game a little bit. They're down by 2 touchdowns. Corn will give the ball to Jasmine Trammell. He'll cut it back up inside a big hole. He runs through people, and Trammell out to the 34-yard line. Big time run by Jasmine Trammell. Making the stop was Paul Backman.
And that was one of those runs we've talked about where they've had success running to the outside, getting outside of the tackles. Trammell, of course, though he was hit at the line of scrimmage, able to break that tackle and really make a good run out of it. But the play was attempting to go wide and outside, and they've had a lot of success running outside of the tackles, and they really need to exploit that the rest of this night, especially on most of their running attacks.
First down and 10 yards to go. The ball is handed off to the fullback. This is Kane, and he is wrestled down for a couple of yards loss on that one. Jefferson had seen that one before and made the play quite easily. Romaine Davis, the lead tackler that time for the Dragons. Ball will come back to the 32-yard line. We'll bring up second down and 12 yards to go now for Jefferson. Or for Plant, rather. Second and 12. Plant head coach Roland Acosta in his 22nd year as the head coach here at Plant. 163 victories, 67 losses. Game number 231 for Roland. Ball's given to Gilbert. He'll cut it back up. Nice move by Demetric Gilbert. Still on his feet and finally wrestled down at the 41-yard line. He'll come up a few yards shy of a first down, but a great effort by Gilbert.
And again, the play, misdirection play, but it was headed to the outside. And again, I can't help but stress the fact that Plant has had some success running the football to the outside. And this, again, with the 6 yards they made on that play, they're about 3 yards short of for a first down. And you'd have to look to see them, if they run the football, not to run it inside, because they have not had that type of success.
Big third down play. Flag on the play. Kane will get the first down, it looks like. But I think it's going to be illegal procedure against the Panthers, and it will come back.
And it really looked as though one of the running backs for Plant just kind of slipped. He fell forward, tried to put his hand down on a stance. He kind of fell forward, and it gave the appearance that he was moving early, and it's a legal motion, which is the indication, and it will go against Plant.
So that will turn 3rd and 3 into 3rd and 8 and make it a little bit tougher for Roland Acosta's club here. Ball will come back to the 37-yard line. 8:04 remaining, third quarter. If you just joined us, Jefferson leading 21-7 over the Plant Panthers, who have the ball. Single wide out left side, Delaware wing T. The fake by Corn. He has to step up. Will throw it and will complete the ball to Jefferson's 40-yard line. The catch will be made out there. Outstanding play by John Gonzalez, the 6'3" junior tight end. First down for Plant, and another nice play by Trey Corn.
And not only that, he did it with a lot of pressure. You see him not really having time to set up. He's running out of the pocket, and he just spots his receiver, Gonzalez, upfield, and he just throws the ball right before he gets hit at the last minute and able to make a big play out of something that looked like it could have been negative for Plant. And again, Trey Corn making that big play under a lot of pressure.
Double wide outs to the left side this time for Plant. Ball will be given to the fullback, and a big hole there for John Eskridge. Eskridge barrels his way down inside the 25-yard line down to the 22.
And the Plant Panthers are building some momentum offensively. Eskridge taking that carry and just really running up the field using his speed. It wasn't really touched until latter part of the play, able to get a big gain.
Eskridge will once again line up, this time as the tailback, and they've got Richard Williams in the backfield to help out. He's going to run right behind Williams. Williams clears a couple of guys out. Down to the 15-yard line goes Eskridge. Jason Sparks comes over from his linebacker position to make the play.
Well, again, Williams, we talked earlier, is about 300 pounds, and of course, they're going to run behind him. And anytime you see him in the football game, you should expect for him to be the lead blocker, if not the carrier, because that's a surprise that you might see later of him carrying the football if he ever has to. But you can see all 6'2", 300 pounds of number 62 there on your screen. And I tell you, that's one man I'd like to run behind, too.
Yes, sir. Well, the Jefferson Dragons have called a timeout with 6:58 to go here in the third quarter to talk it over. The line of scrimmage will be the 14. It will be second and short. Second down and a yard to go. And, Jerry, that pass play from Trey Corn, the quarterback, out to his tight end, John Gonzalez. Right now, that play looms very, very big for Plant in this drive.
And you can see how a play will take an offense and really take a team and give them some confidence. Right after that play, they ran off two big runs that were really, we talked about how they've been running the football to the outside. Well, those two runs are off tackle, and that's the area where they weren't having much success. Well, after the big pass play, they've been running the football, basically doing some of the things that they weren't able to do earlier, and you can see that they're building some confidence. And that's what they need to do, have confidence as an offense and get some points out of this drive to get themselves closer and to bring that deficit down to 7 instead of 14 points.
2nd and 1, Eskridge with the ball, going to go right side again after he jumps everybody, touchdown Plant. Boy, where did this guy come from? He has just looked sensational in the tailback position for the Panthers. That one from 14 yards away, and now with 6:51 to go in the third quarter, it is 21-13 in favor of Jefferson.
And again, running behind Rashard Williams, number 62, lining up at fullback. They've run that play 3 times in a row, and of course it's taken them right to the end zone.
Chun is on to try the point after, and you watch the run here. Look at Eskridge, and again, Williams makes a big block.
That's true, but Eskridge makes a big play by jumping over number 31 there at the end, Troy Hart, and able to get in.
And it looks like a flag will be thrown on the point after, and it's offsides against Jefferson. Well, Jerry, do you change your mind and go for 2 here, maybe, instead of trying for 1?
Well,
They got kicked.
they're going to kick, but I would assume that now that you're half the distance closer, really a yard and a half out, that your chances of making it have just improved. And if you're going to go for 2, now would be the time to try it.
Charles Chun will be on to try the extra point. Trey Korn will hold. And a good look there at Chun, ready to go. A little bit of a high snap, but Korn gets it down. Kick is up, and he will knock it through. So the Plant Panthers have answered the Jefferson Dragons here with another 80-yard drive for a touchdown. Keep in mind that both of Plant's drives have come after the ball has been kicked into the end zone by Jason Sparks, one on a kickoff and one on a missed 50-yard field goal. And with 6:51 remaining here in the third quarter, 21-14, and Jerry, all of a sudden, a little different look to the game.
That's true, but one of the things that you have to be pleased that if you're Coach Acosta is the play of your quarterback, Trey Korn. He's been able to come up with some big plays with a lot of pressure being put on him and really coming through as a senior leader of this team, and that's what you have to really depend on is the play of your quarterback. He's done some great things tonight. He's throwing the ball well under pressure, and he's leading his team and his offense and getting them back in this football game, and that's going to play heavily here towards the second half, and the fact that he's got a lot of confidence and his team has confidence behind him for them to lead the offense to try to get this game scored evenly.
Bocas will kick it off again. Once again, the ball laying flat on the tee at the 40-yard line, so he probably won't kick it very far. Gets the roll this time. Oh, nice catch there by the tight end for the Dragons, and they're going to have good field position no matter what out to the 43-yard line. Making the run there was Tommy Jones, and that was just a bullet, Jerry. He caught and was able to get it back another 10, 12 yards.
That's true. Ultimately, you want that squib kick to hit the ground and roll and bounce around a little bit and give your men a couple seconds to run down the cover before they catch it. That time, Tommy Jones catches it on the fly. They had a return set up to go right, so he tried to get over there. And, of course, not a lot of room to run, basically, because the defensive kickoff team was right there 10 yards in front of you, so they were able to make the stop. And they got great field position because of that attempt.
Second time here in the quarter that the Dragons have had great field position to open their series. This ball is handed to Caldwell. He slips through a couple of guys and gets about 3 or 4 yards when it looked like he was going to be shut down for a loss. Alex Vasquez, once again, the tackler for the Plant Panthers.
That's true. They originally had a hand on Caldwell about 3 yards in the backfield. He was able to slip the first tackle and then move on upfield to get a gain of 5.
Ball is at the 48-yard line of Jefferson. Dragons in the lead 21-14. They have the ball. Newman and Ware will be double wideouts to the left side. Caldwell the tailback. Swain in the slot on the left side. Caldwell gets the ball, steps up, met, and he will not get the first down. Great job by that Plant Panther defensive line. Leading the way, Graham Anderson, and we've called his name a few times, that big sophomore, makes a stop at the 48.
That's true. 6'1", 195 pounds. Graham Anderson has been active tonight, and he's made his share of tackles.
And Jerry, we'll get a chance to see it here. It should be a tremendous hit by Graham Anderson. He's one of the better ones here in the county, and he's only a sophomore. We're going to hear his name a lot down through the years. Graham Anderson, 6'1", 195-pound defensive end. High backfield on 3rd down and 5 yards to go. Big play for Plant and Jefferson. Purrier guns it to Newman. Keith Newman with the catch and tackled by Jasmine Trammell at the 32-yard line. First down, Jefferson.
And that was just pitch and catch. Keith Newman runs a slant route. Puryear drops back, sets up in the pocket, and just delivers it. And he puts it in the right place. He put that ball right on Newman's chest. And you'll see Puryear drop back, just kind of calmly throw the ball. And Newman catches it on the run, able to gain another 10, 15 yards after the run. But again, the big play from the Jefferson Dragons, they go to their big play man, and that's Keith Newman.
Boy, I will tell you, Newman looks like if he gets a chance to run in an open field, nobody's going to get close. 1st and 10 now for Jefferson at Plant's 32-yard line. Puryear once again hands to Caldwell, tries right side. He is rocked back by a couple of Panthers as he gets to the line of scrimmage, and that's all. And Jerry, it looks to me like the Panthers doing a little bit better job stopping that running game.
Yeah, and that they may have gone in at halftime and told themselves that we're going to have to respond and get more people on the ball. Although Caldwell's breaking tackles and slipping and sliding, he's not doing it as effectively as he did the first half. And, of course, the Plant Panthers are swarming to the football, having more people making tackles or around the tackle, and they're able to stop Caldwell from making a big play or a longer run, longer than what he's been doing so far this second half.
Rappaport, the tackler on that one. Caldwell got a yard, 2nd down and 9 yards to go. Puryear will drop the throw. The pump fake's going to go end zone. Looking out there for where it will be. Let's see, incomplete at the back post of the end zone. Dion Ware out there trying to make the catch, and Terry Hall, the safety, coming over to break it up for Plant.
And Plant was in position to make the play there. They had the cornerbacks running up with Ware as well as the safety man in the corner. That's how you stop plays like that, and that's how you stop big plays, is having your safety man involved in any pass that's deeper than 10 to 15 yards. And that time, they were able to do that. They had their players in position, and the result is an incomplete pass.
Hall and Jasmine Trammell both over there on the play for Plant. So the Dragons face with a big 3rd down here. 3rd down and 8 yards to go. The ball is at Plant's 32-yard line. Carl Puryear will call the signals. The eye backfield he has, fakes to Caldwell, wants to put it up, now steps up, is going to try to run for it. Has his eye on that flag. He is still on his feet and is finally out of bounds. And let's see how close he comes. It will be very close, and this will be decision time, I think, Jerry, for Darlene Nelson. It's 4th down, but it's not far from a first, and it looks like it's an easy field goal. Or not an easy one, but close.
Well, it's closer than the 50-yarder they tried earlier, but it does look like it's a play where they may have to make a decision. You see Puryear here drop back. He's looking at Newman. He's trying to go to him and saw nothing there. He tucked it. He's trying to get to the 1st down. You see him straining in at the last minute. He did step out of bounds there about 2 yards short or 3 yards short, and they're going to attempt to make it right here.
4th and 2. Puryear keeps the ball, pitches it back. Caldwell, great pitch on the option. 1st down for Jefferson inside the 20-yard line. Boy, what a great play that was. Terrific execution.
Yes, it was, and even Puryear holding the ball to the right time to pitch it. He set that play up, and he allowed Caldwell the opportunity to get it. He held the ball, he made the defense commit, then he pitched out to Caldwell there, and Caldwell again running to the sideline, getting the 1st down and sustaining this drive.
David Bocas finally ran him out of bounds, but not until he reached the 17-yard line, where it will be 1st and 10 for the Dragons. And it looks like a timeout will be called with 3:15 remaining here in the 3:14 rather remaining in the 3rd quarter. I take that back. They were whistling, and now they're going to let him play. Okay. This is Puryear again. Wants to go into the end zone. He's got Newman out there. Ball will be caught, but let's see. Touchdown. Touchdown, Jefferson. Great catch by Keith Newman. And that is a new dance.
Well, that's a way of not being penalized. They can't say you're showing off if you're leaning against the pole. You can always say you're taking a rest. You'll see that man Keith Newman running off the field with a big smile on his face, and that's because he just made a big catch for a touchdown. Big play. I mean, we've talked about Keith Newman and the big plays that this offense makes, and a lot of them are geared around that man, and again, him coming up with the big play there.
Sparks is on to try the point here. And he will kick it. Looks like right. Let's see. He got it through, but not by much. And with 3:07 remaining here in the 3rd quarter, it's now 28-14. So the Jefferson Dragons answer back on the great touchdown pass from quarterback Carl Puryear to Keith Newman. And Jerry, this is just a sensational catch in the back of the end zone by Newman.
That's true, and you can see the pressure that was put on, and even the hit, the last-minute hit that was put on him, and him able to come up with the football as well as keep his feet in bounds, just shows that that was an overall outstanding play on his part. And then we have to talk about the pass. The pass could have been anywhere else but where it was thrown. And so Carl Puryear needs to get some credit for throwing that football and laying it in about the only place he could put it.
Purrier now with 2 touchdown passes, one to Dion Ware and one to Keith Newman, and Jasmine Swain has run in for 2 for Jefferson's 28 points. Jason Sparks has kicked all 4 extra points, and he will try to boom this ball again, probably into the end zone. He has done that with regularity here tonight for Jefferson. Deep is Jasmine Trammell. He's at about his own 3-yard line. And there is the line drive shot. It will be caught by Trammell at the 1. He wants to try to run it back. It's going to go wide outside, turns the corner near the 20. Won't get to the 20. Good play by Jefferson. However, flags on the play.
And that's going to be a late hit on a Jefferson player. Just diving in at the last minute, making a little bit of excitement, extra excitement it appeared to be, but uncalled for here. We're going to get a chance to see the replay that on that late hit, and the fact that, again, it was just a case of probably having a player that's a little bit more excited than he should be. You're going to see the call here as you'll see it.
And the penalty will go against the Dragons. And Jerry, let's see if we can pick it up.
That's true. You can see Trammell try to break it to the outside here and just kind of outrun everybody. Ware makes the tackle, and you'll see the hit right then and there. Not only was it late, it looked like he came down with his helmet, and that's extremely illegal as well as dangerous in this game.
And you saw the signal by referee Joel Schoenborn. He did hit the player in the head, and you don't do that. That's 15 and a first down tacked on to the end of the run, so the Panthers will get pretty good field position out at their own 34-yard line. Plant down by 2 touchdowns. Trey Korn still in there. He's going to pitch it back to Eskridge, who tries to sweep that side, but Jason Sparks runs into him, and guess what? 3-yard loss for John Eskridge.
It's a good play by Sparks. He held his own. He kept the contain, and he stayed out there. And when he ended up getting the pitch and getting his hands on the ball carrier, of course, he was unable to escape, and he tackled it.
Second down now coming up for the Panthers. 2nd and 13 following the 3-yard loss by Eskridge. Good tackle by number 3 in your screen there, Jason Sparks. So the Dragons leading by 2 touchdowns. Show a little defensive flair there. Panthers may need to put this one up. Eskridge, the tailback in the eye. He's got the big fullback, Richard Williams, there. The pump fake by Korn's going to go right sideline. Trouble, almost intercepted out there. Hart gets a hand on it. And Jerry, if he could have tipped it to Newman, it'd have been see you later.
I tell you, that play looked as though they were trying to run what they call a hitch and go. Have a play fake, try to go a 5-yard hitch and then have him turn up field. Well, the ball, you can see Korn just drop back. He pump fakes, a little pump fake, and kind of tosses it up. And I think there's a little miscommunication there between the receiver and the quarterback as to where he should have been, because the pass definitely wasn't thrown to where the quarterback or where the receiver was going. And that looks to be a little bit of miscommunication, but they'll need to talk it out and probably try to run that play again later and see if they can get it right.
3rd and 13, they're going to hand it to Eskridge, and he is not going to get the first down by a long shot. He is dragged down from behind by Jamal Jefferson, the sophomore linebacker, as he gets it out to the 35-yard line. So the Plant Panthers are going to have to punt it away with 1:50 remaining in the 3rd quarter. Jerry, I'm surprised at this call a little bit. I thought he might throw.
Well, they've had a lot of success running that ball, especially behind Rashard Williams, who was in the game at that time in the backfield. But you need 13 yards. You don't need 3 yards. And, of course, that play wasn't built to get 13 yards, and it didn't make it there.
Low snap. Sorrow, good job. He has it partially blocked. Ball will be down right at the 40-yard line. Actually picked up by Jason Sparks, and then he is tripped up. Sorrow did a good job just to hold on to it, Jerry, because that ball was kind of rolled back to him there. And for a young sophomore playing his first varsity game, good presence of mind, and tried to get it away, and the Dragons got a hand on it.
And that's the last thing you want a young new kicker to think about, is to have the problems with the snap or to have the ball rolled to him. All you'd like for him is get perfect snaps and able to kick the football. Well, that time, ball kind of rolled 5 yards in front of him. He picked it up, but by the time he got it up and ready to kick it, the Jefferson player was there to partially block the kick.
Great field position for the Dragons. 1st and 10 from Plant's 39-yard line. Let's see if Purrier wants to go up top early. He's going to drop the throw. He's got pressure. That's where he's going. Left corner looking for Newman. Newman out there. The ball is going to be caught, it looks like, by somebody. I think Newman. Touchdown, Jefferson. Keith Newman with another one, but we got a flag in the backfield, and let's hold off for a second as Newman decides to lean on the other side of the goalpost. That's a flag, and that's going to be a penalty against Keith Newman. I don't know about that.
Well, they're taking the fun out of celebrating at the end. I think
Carl Puryear is the injured player here, Jerry, and that's kind of serious for the Jefferson Dragons. He is down back at the 43, and you see right there a Plant Panther down. There's Puryear. We got injuries for both teams, and it looks like one of the Panther running backs who plays a defensive back position is down in the end zone. But let's see if the touchdown counts. We have not seen a call yet on that. There's Puryear, and you can see they're attending to him. I assume, Jerry, that he just took a shot. Still discussing it down there. The officials, here comes referee Joel Schoenborn now with our call. Penalty against the Panthers. Well, that ought to be a touchdown.
Yeah, that penalty was roughing the passer, and that could have
Okay.
been a good reason why quarterback Carl Puryear was down on the ground.
There you
see
go.
the indication there. Roughing passer gets Plant decline, and yes, it is a touchdown.
And they'll be penalized on the kickoff for the celebration, the taunting, or whatever you call it, by Keith Newman. But Sparks will get a chance to try the extra point. 3 touchdown passes now for Puryear, who, by the way, walked off the field under his own power and appeared to be okay. Well, they're going to march it off on the extra point. So Jason Sparks will get a little bit of a challenge here.
Well, you have to say he has the leg to make that. And again, we didn't comment on the catch. I mean, that was an outstanding catch by Keith Newman, and it was really a battle. He jumped up, caught the ball, and it looked as though between him and the defensive back who wanted it more. And of course, Newman, after having to struggle for it, spins his body out of the way, kind of takes the ball away, and they score a touchdown.
Sparks' extra point from 35 yards away might as well have been from 65 yards away. Drilled it right down Main Street. And with 1 minute to go here in the third quarter, it is now 35-14 in favor of Jefferson. And Jerry, if nothing else, the Dragons showing that quick strike firepower that they have. And when you got a guy like Newman and a quarterback like Puryear who can throw it, you can make some things happen.
But when you have the talented players like they have, like the two that you've just named off, sometimes you can just throw the ball in the air and good things happen. That time that wasn't the best thrown pass, but when you've got a Keith Newman that's 6'4" that can jump and catch and that can spin away and pull the ball or make a great catch, you know, you can do little plays like that.
You can see Alex Vasquez there injured on the play for the Panthers. Let's hope he's okay. Looks like he's in a little bit of pain right now. Sparks will kick it off for the Dragons. And once again, Jasmine Trammell will be deep, standing near his own goal line for Plant. 35-14 is the score now. The Dragons have come roaring back here with 2 touchdowns after Plant had cut the lead to 21-14. And let's see if Sparks will drill it in again. Long kick by Sparks into the end zone. Trammell will just watch it halfway into the end zone. Gary, I do believe he can kick in college.
Yes, he can. If they can't find a place for him to play anywhere else, he can probably do more than just kick. But he has shown an outstanding leg, and not only outstanding from a strength standpoint, but although he missed a 50-yard field goal, I know some better kickers that that have missed 50-yarders. So he has shown that he can be a pretty good kicker.
1st and 10 from the 20-yard line. A good look there at Jason Sparks, who also plays linebacker for the Dragons and has done a good job on that side of the football tonight as well. Trey Korn brings his club out on 1st and 10 from the 20. 1 minute remaining in the third quarter. A lot of action in this period. This is Kane. Kane with some yardage will get it out close to the 25-yard line. Nice stop on the play that time for Jefferson. Kevin Newman making the play. And we haven't seen Kevin Kane run the ball very much tonight, Jerry. He has not been called on, but when he does, he's got power.
He does, and we mentioned the backs that they do have here at Plant, and again, we've talked about Jasmine Trammell and Demetric Gilbert and Kevin Kane. All of them really have the ability to make big plays at any given time, and that's why you use all 3 backs.
Ball handed off to Kane again. He's getting a little bit more work now as he crosses the 25 out to the 27-yard line. As the clock winding down here to end the third quarter, that will probably be the last play. Good stop that time by David Hill. And there's Kevin Kane heading back, and we will not get one more off here. It's a clock inside of 5 seconds, and We are down and out as far as the third quarter at Dad Stadium is concerned. Our score is 35-14. The Jefferson Dragons, Jerry, I would say right now very much in control of this game. Plant will probably have to throw a lot to get back in it.
They're going to have to do some things to score quickly. You know, 21 points down, and they've got 12 minutes to make that up. And then they have to play against a Jefferson defense that hasn't played that bad tonight, but also allowing the Jefferson offense more time on the field. Plant is going to have to come out and strike fast and come up with some big plays and let some of their big players like Jasmine Trammell or even Trey Corn drop back and throw the football and make some big plays and make them fast because time's running out.
Our Jones Intercable cameras head to Robinson High School next week, where we get our first look this season at the Jesuit High Tigers. We stay in Class 5A for another big district game. Robinson not in the district race, but the Jesuit Tigers certainly are. And another one of the 4 teams that are in it, along with Jefferson, Plant, and Auburndale, and another team that pretty much can control its own destiny. Jesuit at Robinson next week right here on Jones. Well, the Panthers will come out to start the fourth quarter. They're down by 3 touchdowns, and they're facing a third and about 3. And if ever the Plant Panthers need a first down, it's right here. And Trey Corn does not like what he sees, and he has to call a timeout. And Jerry, it just looked like they didn't know what the play was going to be.
And it's a good use of the timeout because this is an important drive. They need to get, again, we talked about scoring quickly, but they really do need to take advantage of every drive that they have right now because they may only have 3 drives left, if that many, and they need to score just to tie this game, score on all 3 of those drives.
It will be a 3rd and 3 as Jefferson in control here at 35-14 and trying to run their district record to 4-1. Panthers coming out now. Seems like there's still a little bit of confusion here on the field. Now they're slowly starting to get this thing lined up. Double wideouts left side for Plant. That's the wide side of the field for the Panthers. And a single wide out to the near side. The tailback in the eye is Eskridge. He is on his feet. He makes some yardage. He gets the first down out to the 37-yard line. Big first down for the Panthers.
And they went straight at it. There was nothing fancy, no misdirection play there. Eskridge just off the tackle, right side of the field, and able to run through the line and get the first down there. We're going to see the replay here of Corn just handing off to Eskridge, getting a lead block from Williams, really knocking down the the Jefferson Dragon, and Eskridge able to move forward and get the first down.
Eskridge, a 6'3", 210-pound senior, has showed some stuff here tonight for Plant. 1st and 10 from the 37-yard line. Double wideouts again left side for the Panthers. Corn will give the ball to Eskridge again. Eskridge has barreled his head down, and Jerry's going to be real close to the first down. I think they may have to bring out the chains.
But it's good that every time he's touching the ball, he's getting 6 to 8 yards a game. You don't have to drop back and throw the football if every time you run the ball, you're going to get those many yards. The thing that you want to do on these drives is not to use up a lot of the clock, but when you get big chunks like that, then it really doesn't matter. You're going to see Corn here drop back, give it to Eskridge, and he's just running through holes, and then again he's breaking some good tackles and then getting extra yards after getting hit, doing a good job of running the football.
2nd and 1, ball given to Kane. He breaks through, gets the first down into Jefferson territory down to the 49-yard line. Nice run by Kevin Kane, who appeared to be bottled up very near the line of scrimmage. Got out and got the first down. So once again, the Plant Panthers keep the drive alive, and Kane trying to get himself out of the game here. And referee Joel Schonborn said, let's wind that clock and keep it going. 10:44 remaining here at Dad Stadium. Plant Panthers need 3 touchdowns, and they need them pretty quick. Same formation again, double wideouts left side, Eskridge the tailback. He'll get the pitch, barely holds on, and this time dragged down right at the line of scrimmage. Jefferson is starting to figure that play out a little bit out. John Griffin once again making the stop for the Dragons.
And Jefferson is figuring that play out, but one of the things that Plant was doing very successfully early was running football to the outside, but they were doing it with a smaller, faster back like Jasmine Trammell, not that much smaller height-wise, but about 20 pounds lighter. He was able to have some success running football wide. Eskridge has been chunking out a lot of yardages off tackle, but Trammell's more the outside runner, and they need to try to get him back in the game. They split him out wide here on this play.
And Korn steps up, going to go deep down the left side looking for Hall. It's caught, but he is well out of bounds, incomplete. Defending on the play for Jefferson was Paul Backman, the 5'10 junior corner. So that will bring up a 3rd and 9 now for Plant. Once again, the Panthers faced with a big 3rd down play in this series. 9:48 remaining. And the Plant Panthers down by 3 touchdowns. Need to get one here, Jerry. I don't think you can give up a drive without getting any points at this stage of the game.
Well, already about 2.5 minutes of run off the clock in the 4th quarter. And you can't have 2.5-minute, 3-minute drives and then end up punting the football. You're going to have to at least continue the drive and try to use as less time as you can to get some points. And they're going to have to try to convert this 1st down.
Korn gets away from Delane, will throw the pass. Bad pass, incomplete. Flag on the play. And I think that may be the late hit against Jefferson. Looks like they're going to get David Hill. And that is going to give Plant a 1st down. Roughing the passer is the call. 1st down for Plant. Boy, what a big break. The Panthers stay alive.
And from Jefferson's standpoint, those are the type plays that you don't really need to have. You'll see Korn here drop back, trying to look upfield to get those 8 yards. He's scrambling outside. He gets rid of the ball, runs a couple steps, and that was a late hit. You know, number 8, David Hill, coming in at the last minute and putting his 2 cents in. Of course, that's going to cost him 15 yards. Probably a good little conversation for Coach Nelson, and hurt his team to an extent by giving up the yardage and keeping this drive going for Plant.
Well, you got to keep your wits out there a little bit, and that time David Hill just did not do that. And as a result, Plant will get it at Jefferson's 34 on 1st and 10. Eskridge, big hole, right side. He's just straight up the gut. John Eskridge will get down inside the 5-yard line. Tremendous run by Eskridge. A great saving tackle by who else? Keith Newman. He does it all.
You have to ask yourself a question. Where was Eskridge in the 1st half? Well, he was playing defense from the defensive end standpoint. That play off tackle, again, the same play they've been running well. And again, number 62, Rashard Williams in the football game. And that time, instead of getting 6 to 8 yards, broke it for the big game down inside of the 5-yard line.
It'll be 1st and goal from the 4 for Plant. 9:35 to go in the game. Eskridge will remain the tailback, and Richard Williams the fullback in the I. And it looks like Eskridge might be a little tired. Williams is kind of pointing him in the right direction as to where to stand. Looked like there might have been a penalty call here against Jefferson. They have moved the ball down a little bit, it looks like. Panthers with the ball. Here's Eskridge. Boy, he is hit right at the line of scrimmage. He is going nowhere.
And you're not going to get that extra effort or even try to get those extra couple of yards if you're as tired as Eskridge is at this time. You know, he has been the workhorse here in the 2nd half for the Plant Panthers. He's been running the football, running them well, and you can see him just get out of the huddle there. Number 6 walking. He's tired, and he's rightfully so, because he's done a good job of running this football that 2nd half.
It is 2nd and goal now. The ball at the 2-yard line. That's where they started following that half the distance to the goal penalty of 2 yards against Jefferson. 2nd and goal. Eskridge remains in the game. Williams remains his blocker in the fullback spot. Eskridge again has it. I don't think he's going to get it this time. Looks like David Hill will make the stop for Jefferson just shy of the goal.
And it's unfortunate because they're using up a lot of time trying to run the football in and being unsuccessful. First of all, on 1st and 1 on the 1-yard line, losing a yard. This time getting that yard back, but it's still using up 30 to 50 seconds each time they run a play, and that's the equivalent to about 1.5 minutes, which they may end up needing later on in the game. You want to try to get in the end zone as quick as possible, and they've been unable to do that.
Looks like they have spotted it at the 2, so call it 3rd and goal from the 2. Kane now the tailback. Kane will get the ball, and he is hit behind the line of scrimmage back to the 5-yard line. Great play by the center of that Jefferson defense. It looked like the lead tackler was Justin Rankin, but not sure about that. We'll check it out. Watch it here, and you can see. Big hit right there. 53 makes the stop for the Dragons. It's Brian Salter, the 6'1", 240-pound junior.
And they say the way you stop running plays inside of the 5-yard line is that you get penetration. And again, Salter on that play was 3 yards in the backfield. Although he was on his ground, he was able to trip lane and make the stop.
4th and goal from about the 4. Korn's going to drop. He's got problems, and he is sacked all the way back to the 15-yard line. And the Jefferson Dragons have held very, very impressively, Jamal Jefferson, the player on that one.
And Plant had no choice but to go for that. I mean, it wasn't an option that they had to kick the field goal. They needed touchdowns. And you see Korn coming here, and it looked as though not only Anderson coming through untouched, but a couple of other Jefferson players just kind of ran through the line. They probably shot the gaps, which they probably went to where the Plant offensive linemen weren't, and able to sneak through and penetrate. And again, we talked about the penetration wreaking havoc on plays. That time, that play never had a chance to form, stopping the play on a crucial 4th down.
So the Dragons will get it first down with 7:12 remaining in the game, 1st and 10 from their own 15-yard line. And this is probably the worst field position the Dragons have had all night. But that does not seem to matter too much to these guys. They've scored 5 touchdowns. And now, Jerry, I would think we're going to see a lot of Mr. Caldwell running the football with that big lead. Puryear will drop, gives to Caldwell on the delayed handoff, and he will get out to the 15, maybe to the 16-yard line. Nice tackle on the play that time by Jason Rappaport, the 6'1", 200-pound junior.
And what you want to do from Jefferson's standpoint is to run the clock out. Hand the ball off to this man Caldwell and allow him to just try to get as many yards as possible. But keep the ball on the ground, stay inbounds, and keep the clock running. And with 6.5 minutes left to go in this game, you have to look, Jefferson has to look to try to run this clock out, or at least run as much time down as possible.
Double wideouts to the right side for the Dragons on 2nd down and 9 yards to go. Swain and Caldwell in the backfield. Caldwell gets the ball. Big hole for Caldwell, left side. He is finally rocked down at the 23-yard line. Won't get the first down, but will get close. Demetric Gilbert with a good hard tackle for Plant. Jerry, we've seen a lot of good hits tonight. This is another one. Right there.
And that's a perfect hit. Number 5 again, Demetric Gilbert coming up, putting the lick on Caldwell. We mentioned how Caldwell is an elusive runner, and you don't really get a good shot on him. Well, Gilbert got a good shot on him there and brought him right down in his tracks. Caldwell didn't even fall forward. He kind of fell to the side. So that shows you that was a good form tackle.
3rd and 2. Ball handed off to the fullback. Getting yardage there for Jefferson. Getting the first down, Jermaine Swain. And that was a big, big first down for the Dragons. They keep the ball, and that's all they want to do.
They're continuing the drive, and they're keeping the clock running. And that time, the run to Swain up the middle, kind of, granted, they only needed 2 to 3 yards. He ended up getting 8 or 9. But, again, the most important thing about that, and we're going to see the replay here, just handing off to Swain, running up the middle, breaking attack, and keeping those legs moving, getting up, getting the first down, and keeping the drive moving and the clock running.
Ball at the 31-yard line, 1st and 10 for the Dragons. Game clock down to 5:20 to go. Plant jumps offside. That was Kevin Kane. Let's see if he was pulled. And the signal here by referee Joel Schornborn, and it was indeed offsides on Kevin Kane and the Panthers. So that will make the next first down a little easier for the Dragons. 1st and 5. Ball now spotted at the 37-yard line. Jefferson leads at 35-14 on the strength of 3 touchdown passes by Carl Puryear. 2 to Keith Newman and 1 to Dion Ware. And Ware's was a 50-yarder that was almost all run by Dion Ware. Split backfield for the Dragons on 1st and 5. Puryear drops, going to throw a little swing pass outside. Completion to Dion Ware, makes a move. Ware still on his feet into Plant territory, down to the 47-yard line. Jasmine Trammell makes a stop for Plant.
And when you're trying to run the clock out, you talk about running the football. All you really want to do is run the ball. We'll see the play here. This is just a short pass, 5-yard pass, and Ware makes the big play out of it. He makes the first man miss, and that's what you want your receivers to do, is make that first guy miss. And the secret to that is getting him the ball fast enough to where he can turn and face the defender. He got the chance to do that, made him miss, made a big play, and again, first down to keep this drive and the clock moving.
Terry Hall had a shot at him for Plant, just couldn't bring him down. 1st and 10 in Panther territory at the 47-yard line. Carl Puryear looks like he may be changing something here at the line of scrimmage. Ball will be given to Caldwell, and he is rocked down from behind. Excellent stop by the Panthers. Caldwell will lose yardage on the play. And making the play for Plant was Kevin Kane, who can do it both sides of the ball.
And this is the time where yardage gets tough. Puryear hands off to Caldwell, and they're just all over him. As you can see, number 7, Kevin Kane, jumping on the back as well as 31 Marlon Mailer in on the tackle. This is the toughest yards that you can get in a situation like this where the team knows you're going to run the football, so they're going to pile up and they're going to come after you, and they're not even paying attention to the pass. They're going to just run after the running backs and try to make the stop. If you gain yards in a situation like that, again, it's the toughest type of yards that you can get, but it doesn't mean that it's impossible to gain them.
2nd and 11. Puryear's going to drop the throw. He's got some pressure, spins away. Still on his feet, now wants to run, and he just dives for cover back in his own territory at the 47-yard line. He had 3 black jerseys all over him. And once again, Kevin Kane, the first guy there.
And Puryear's trying to make something happen. You'll see him drop back here and then start that rollout. We talked about how he can throw on the roll. Saw nothing was coming, tried to reverse field, and again, Plant just kind of converged on him. He had nowhere to go but down, and he went down fast.
And Kevin Kane was out of the play originally. Good job to pursue back from the backside and make the tackle from behind. So it's 3rd and a bundle here for Jefferson, 3rd and about 17 for a first down. But more importantly for the Dragons, that game clock is now down to 2:50 to go. Jefferson in control at 35-14. Dragons with double wideouts right side. Swain the lone setback for Puryear, which means pass, and here it is. Pressure from Kane again. Puryear steps up, going to try to run for it, and he will not get it. Runs out of bounds. Wanted to stay in, but just couldn't do it. 44-yard line will be the official spot of the ball. Good tackle by Thompson, and once again Vasquez for the Panthers.
And you have to give Puryear credit. He tried to stay in bounds. He probably should have just fallen down or just really slide right before the play to stay in bounds to keep the clock running. That time, he tried to stay in bounds. He was scrambling to the sideline. He dropped back. It appeared to be a screen pass to the left, but there was no back out there. He had a bunch of linemen, but no back, so he just tucked it in. He tried to stay in, and again, at the last minute, tried to get his feet in, was unable to, got knocked out of bounds, stopped the clock.
4th down, 8 yards to go now for Jefferson. 2 minutes, 30 seconds to go in the game. Caldwell and Swain in the backfield in the I formation. Ball is kept. Puryear across the middle. It looks like it will be a complete pass out there. Making the catch for the Dragons is Tommy Jones, the junior tight end, 6'4", 195-pounder. And once again, Jerry, when the Dragons need it, they get it. First down.
And they've done a good job. Puryear has done a good job of utilizing all of his receivers. He dropped back, straight drop back pass, and really just hits Tommy Jones on the slant. And that's Tommy Jones' 2nd or 3rd catch tonight. Newman's had his share, as well as number 5, Dion Ware. So he spread the ball around a little bit and really is distributing the passes kind of equitably among most of his receivers. And that's a good sign of a quarterback utilizing what's available to him.
And it looks like Newman's been given the rest of the night off. He has not been in on this drive for Jefferson. Straight ahead goes Caldwell. Nice tackle from behind for Plant. Making the play, Phil Benito, the 6'1", 225-pound senior. As our clock continues to run, we're down to 1:45 to go. The Jefferson Dragons will go to 5-2 after this one. As you see right there, up the middle goes Caldwell, and we've seen that a few times tonight.
That's true. And they're just looking to run the clock out now, running the ball up the middle of the field. And really, the only thing the Jefferson Dragons need to do is to run a couple more plays and let this clock run out, and this game would be over.
Dragons will go to 5-2, but more importantly, they'll be 4-1 in the district. Plant will drop to 3-2 in the district, and it will be a long road back for the Panthers. Big hole up the middle for Caldwell, and Caldwell slides down at the 10-yard line. First down and 10 yards to go for the Jefferson Dragons. Big hole for Donald Caldwell, and the freshman got it down in scoring range again.
And you can see the mass substitution at this time. Coach Nelson taking the opportunity to put some of the younger players in the game and really trying to show Coach Acosta that he's not trying to run up the score or anything. He's putting his younger players in, but he has to run the football. And if the holes are there and the back runs through them, they're going to have to go through with the play. And
well, you know,
they can't just fall down.
I thought that Caldwell just kind of slid down at the 10-yard line. I'm not sure that he couldn't have made a few more yards on that play. Well, Puryear is still in the game as the quarterback, but there are a lot of other jerseys in there that haven't played a whole lot. Caldwell remains the tailback. There's a new fullback for Jefferson. But Caldwell's going to get the ball. He slants into the middle of the line. He'll get it to the 10-yard line, and that's about all. We're down to 30 seconds to go. That's probably the last play. And the Jefferson Dragons will walk out of here with a big victory tonight over the Plant Panthers. Game clock is down to 20, and it doesn't look like Jefferson in any hurry at all to run another play. They may get one more off, though. Let's see. Yep, you can see that, about 13 seconds. So one more play for the Dragons right here. Puryear wants to throw, going to throw it high, deep, back of the end zone, incomplete. And for some reason, we got another play with 2.6 seconds to go. I wonder why they threw it.
It's hard to understand that, although the intended receiver is just into the game, number 18 on the play, Colton Brown. Now maybe he was trying to see what he can do or put him in the game and give him the opportunity to make a play. But with the game in control like it is, 35-14 with less than 10 seconds left, you run the football, you let the clock run out, and you just go from there. The safest thing you do is just get your quarterback, take the snap, put his knee on the ground, and just call it.
Offensive pass interference called against the Jefferson Dragons, and I was watching the Plant sidelines, Jerry, and I can tell you that Roland Acosta was not happy with the pass.
Well,
and I can't blame him. You got to wonder why you pass in that situation. 2.6 seconds now remaining. And let's see if the Dragons, in fact, do kneel it down to get out of here with a 35-14 victory. New fullback for the Dragons once again, and we don't have his number, which you know he's new. This time Caldwell will get it. He will be, well, he was going to be spun, but he's still on his feet as the gun goes off. Caldwell may get a chance as he rounds right in, cuts it back inside, still on his feet, and Donald Caldwell is tripped up from behind at the 10-yard line. Good tackle there by Jason Rappaport, and Jerry saved the touchdown on the final play of the game.
That's true. Not only that, Caldwell has been outstanding running the football like that in the entire game, and what a way to end it with a great run.
So the Jefferson Dragons, a big 35-14 winner. Jerry and I will come back with some final comments right after this. Welcome back to Dad Stadium. The Jefferson Dragons take a big step forward in the Class 5A district race. They beat Plant 35-14. And Jerry, an outstanding performance by the Dragons, both sides of the football. You tip your hat, though, to Carl Puryear, the quarterback, and the big play guy, Keith Newman.
That's true. They came into this game knowing they needed some big plays on offense, and they've had some big play players. Newman's one of them, Puryear's the other. They came and they performed well tonight. They came up with those big plays and, of course, led this offense to scoring 35 points.
Now, it was 21-14 at one stage. The Panthers were still in it, but then the Dragons pulled away, and that's a sign of a good team. You can put somebody away when you have to.
Yes, and they came in and scored those additional points later on in the second half, but they did it after, and they were answering a touchdown by Plant. Right when Plant thought they were getting back into the game at 21-14, Jefferson responded, got a couple of extra scores, and you did just that. They put them away.
Now, the Panthers 3-2 in the district. Probably going to be difficult for them to get back in the race, but they've got a couple of games left, and, hey, you don't know for sure.
And they play hard, and that's the good thing about this team is that you don't know if they're going to be in or out of the game. Whoever they're going to play these next couple of weeks, they're in for a battle because this is the decent football team that on any given night can win.
So the Jefferson Dragons have knocked off the Plant Panthers here tonight, 35-14. Next week, we will be over at Robinson to see the Jesuit Tigers as they take on the Robinson Knights. For my broadcast partner, Jerry Bell, I'm Jim Henderson. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.